Good Monday morning. Good Monday morning, everyone. This is Ann White, founder of the Creating Calm Network and co-host in Notes from Spirit. And I'm coming to you from beautiful Sheboygan, Wisconsin, and coming to us from the swamp and the steamy humidity of St. Petersburg, Florida is Nadya Rubin Schubert. Good morning, Nadya. How are you doing with all that humidity down there?
Trying to breathe, trying to take up whatever little amount of oxygen is in the air. And like I said before, I'm just trying to get over a barometer sensitive, huge headache. Some might call migraine. I'm not sure what it is, but as the barometer starts to or comes to a stop and starts moving up again, it starts relieving the feeling of being under 25 feet of water.
You know, it's an amazing thing probably to be you, because not only are you barometer and weather sensitive, but also when you work with spirit, it kind of takes you away. I've been with Nadya before, and she'll be getting a spirit message, and I'll see her kind of drifting off, and, you know, she comes back. So today we have, and here in Sheboygan, we're having a massive thunderstorm, so you can hear the thunder coming through. It's a beautiful storm, though. So today's reading is, how does spirit communicate with us? And how do they communicate with each other? I mean, what's it like in the spirit realm? And how do we know when we get a spirit message? Because many people watching this show are new to communicating with spirit. And again, whether you call it your angels, your guardian angels, whatever you call it, a higher power, we here call it our spirit guides. And so every week, Nadya goes into a trance, and during that complete trance, she receives a channeled message. So it's called automatic writing, because when she comes to from this trance, she has about this much. It's a page and a half usually, and doesn't even know what it says, is too groggy to even understand it, puts it in the filing cabinet, and then voila, we have our stuff for our show. So this message is about the communication of spirit. And Nadya, what I'm wondering is, this is very basic for you and for me, but on our show, and as we're putting together a workbook, we're explaining to other people the basics of communication. And I'm wondering if this message was given to you by spirit, truly for sharing with all of the people who've been coming on board to learn more about it, because it's like a primer. It's like a big beginning message.
I think that that's so true, and I really like the fact that they intermittently give me a writing that is not necessarily for emotional healing, which I believe most of them are, but more for a learning process of how this all works. And it sometimes varies in different ways, the way they say what they say, but it all boils down to the same thing.
Right. So I was real excited when I saw this message, because so many people have asked us the basics of spirit communication, and how do they know if they're connected to spirit. And we try to explain it, but we use our other human words. So let's get started with this reading, and let spirit share how they communicate with us and with each other. So Nadya, go ahead.
Yes, okay. It is not always how loud we can speak to be heard. We can truly whisper the words, and you would still be able to hear them, as we are not truly saying the words as you know them. We are opening pathways of sentient clarity so that you may feel the thoughts that become the words. Sorry for my phone. After all, we truly have no body as you know it. Our bodies are the waves we travel on from areas of space to other areas of space, and hook up, so to speak, with other like waves to communicate to each other as well as those in the material world. How we communicate with each other is quite different, in a sense, literally, than how we are able to communicate with you. For to communicate with each other, we only have to pass over or around or through each other to know the message we carry. There is a difference in how we connect with those in the material world, and it all truly depends on your awareness of sensing or feeling or just being observant that our messages are received. For those beginning to connect with us, it is simply feeling bodily changes, sensitivities within your bodies that signal our connection to you. It may begin with our letting you know that we are listening to you through what we call ripples in time. You would feel them as what you may call chills, or a surge of adrenaline, or simply a surge of energy rushing through your body. Whatever words you may want to put to it that make you comfortable, please do so. Once you become familiar with our connection in that way, you may then begin to receive confirmation that we are around when an answer to a thought or a question you may have had pops up in your mind, and you wonder, how did that happen? Since you weren't even thinking of it at the moment. Remember, Spirit doesn't live within a time frame. So when we send you messages, they may not be received in a timely manner as accurately as you may want them. Another way we will work with you is through your meditating time or sleep time, when your thoughts are little or nothing at all, which is usually a very short span of time, to bring to you shapes or colors or pictures of things that you recognize as a way of talking with you on your comfort level. Slowly and gently, we will build a vocabulary of sorts that you may not understand in your literally needed way, and will need a person who is maturely connected to translate the message. As we grow in our connection with you, we can let you know that we are around through bringing you small details about what you were doing in your day, or a short answer to what you were needing to know in your day, or confirming something you were questioning. We may come to you in a picture you might be drawing, something you could not see in front of you, or showing you something you could not see in front of you, or directly around you. We might bring to you our connection through music you might hear that you were just thinking about, and it suddenly appears on your communication systems. A friend may call that you were just beginning to think about and wonder what happened to them. Or meet someone on the street you hadn't seen in a long while and was curious as to what they were doing. As well as simply bringing to you that feeling of energy rushing through you while you were in conversation with another person. And sometimes they might also get those chills at the same time. And you just look at each other and know. And from all of this, if you choose to continue to be aware and validate our being with you, we will bring you higher awareness through your sleep time, taking you to places you may need to see for your own development, so that you may view how to handle a situation or how to feel comfortable in a place you never normally were. We are able to bring to you messages in many different ways, and it is truly all within you and where you are in your connection to us that will continue our relationship with you, growing it stronger and stronger until we become some of your best friends that you may just decide to have a chat with. And know we will complement our chat with words only for your highest good and only from the knowing, to bring you the happiness and joy you so richly deserve. For love comes in all packages. Ours comes from the knowing, our heart of all things remembered.
Beautiful, beautiful. It was so clear and concise, the way they just gave us an entire lesson on spirit communication.
Right. Well, I like the idea that they talk about time in spirit. There is no time. So many times I've noticed myself, I will get information that I have no clue what they're talking about, because it isn't for my time at this time. It's for a future time that's going to be happening if we don't make certain changes in the world, let's say. Or it happens where I will get something that's in the past. It's already been done or already happened, wondering why are they sending it to me? And then I begin to realize in their space there's no time, but they're also actually confirming to me that they are around all the time in all the ways that they can.
Right, right. And so they even begin with one of the things we talk about a lot is spirit chills. And it's sort of like when your hair stands on edge, or you just get that shiver. And oftentimes that just lets you know that there's been a spirit communication, or spirits with you, or they're confirming something. And it's even more powerful when two people get it at the same time, or even a whole group. So that's one of the ways I think that is a good clue that you've connected the spirit.
And that they also talk about coming through really at the best time would be when you're sleeping, just about to wake up in the morning, where you're at that place of total bland. I mean, your brain is just not thinking about anything. The channel is clear, and they will bring to you what they're talking about in this message was an astral travel or a vision to show you something that would be for your benefit and your growth, and something you could use as a tool for the next experience of doing whatever it was that you're uncomfortable with.
Right. And I like, too, that they say it could be confirming something. And I know lately you've been questioning spirit a bit. Not that you doubt it, but just you're questioning your role with spirit. And they've been sending you all sorts of confirming messages.
Yes. And then again, for the ABCs of connecting with spirit, I like the fact that they talked about how they will come through with color patterns and shapes and things that are simple that you really don't give enough validation to, because to you it seems like nothing, and yet that is their way of introducing the energy field that's comfortable in colors, in shapes, and sometimes in ways that make no sense at all, and where they say you need a mature person in this field. In other words, a teacher, a medium, a psychic connector. Vicki White, my teacher, was the one that helped me to connect and interpreted the messages that were coming through in patterns. I had no clue what this was all about.
And, you know, speaking of that, I, too, studied with Vicki White, and you can find her at Spirit Chills. It's spiritchills.com, Nadya. Is that her website?
Spiritchills@AOL.com.
Okay. That's her email address. And so anyway, with Vicki, I knew that I was a channel. I knew I had spirits coming to me in different energy fields, but it was very chaotic. I didn't know how to manage it. So when I started studying with Vicki, she would have me meditate for 10 minutes at a time and write down what I saw. And it's interesting that this only happened when I was studying with Vicki, but I would see different shapes, like Nadya said, different colors, and Vicki would say, are they coming in from the left, or are they coming in from the right? I would see pinpoints of light, which would be spirit beings trying to come in. And so Vicki would interpret all of this for me and help me to understand. Now that I understand, and I'm not studying with Vicki, and I go into my meditation, I don't see any of those colors or shapes anymore. We do it in a different way. But I think that they knew I was with Vicki, and so they were giving me things that she could help me to work with. So I did see the colors and the shapes and all of those things in a meditation.
And she will say that. I mean, they will make sense to her for her to give you the information you need. And that's right. The way I think it works with all of us. I will get things that make no sense to anyone else, but to me, it will make sense. Right. It will mean something. And you learn to do that as you grow with spirit. The longer you grow and you work with them, the more easily it is that you receive the messages in a more, a less intricate way. Very simple, like actually very short and simple and sweet. Whatever it is, it'll come to you. And they love to be validated, so thank you. It's very, very nice. They need to know that they made it over and that you got the message, you know?
And I think also that, at least when I first started, I put them on such a pedestal that I only wanted to talk to them about higher, loftier ideas. But the more I got to know my spirit guides, the more I realized they have a sense of humor. They like to play. And so we would start doing things like, okay, find me a parking space and make sure that it's in the shade, and I want money in the meter, and it would be, and they would always be there, and then I would sort of cheer and, you know, and thank them. And so I think that they're willing to play just to let you know that you're not alone.
Right. Right.
And Nadya, you've been with me on the parking meter challenges, you know. There are times that even
no show I've ever seen.
Even when I go to the airport and they say the parking lot is full, I'll get a sizzle from my spirit guide, and I go, okay, you're on, and we go in and we'll find a parking place.
Yeah.
So it's about your everyday life that they're with you. And I like that they say, they didn't use this word, but it's things that we would call coincidences. Like you're thinking of someone and the phone rings. Or you walk down the street and you meet someone, maybe even a stranger, who says something to you that you need to hear right at that moment, and then they walk on by. They just delivered
and most people think, what's the big deal? I mean, it happens to Peter all the time. And he'll think about a person, Domino, sit. Domino wants to go out. Okay,
Domino is her dog. She's not talking to spirits in the room. It's one
right. There's no spirits in Domino that I know. But anyway, it'll be Peter thinking about, I wonder what happens. So I haven't heard from it. I don't know. And he'll call me at 3 o'clock that afternoon. You'll never guess. I got an email from so-and-so. How is it, I'm like, it's not that it's important or not. It's that they're confirming. They're confirming to you that they're around. And they'll do it in ways that are very simple. It doesn't have to be an important earth-shattering, world-changing way. Just that they're around. Right. You want to take it to a higher level, you start working with them on a daily basis, they'll go to a higher level.
Like even when I was at the hospital and I was thinking about quitting my job, I remember walking to the hospital one day and I get there and I didn't have my badge to get in. So then I thought, okay, well, I'll just use my key. And my key didn't work in the door. And I think there was a third thing, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm getting it. You don't want me to work here anymore, because they will set up a scenario where you hit these roadblocks, and then when you get a couple of them, you think, okay, I get the message now.
Right, they'll either lock you out or take you away, take it all away.
Yeah. So I find it just remarkable. They talk about, and you mentioned the word astral travel, and the line that they have here in the reading is, if you choose, if you choose to be aware and validate our being with you, we will bring you to a higher awareness through your sleep time, taking you to places you may need to see for your own development. And that's called an astral travel, and what happens is when you're sleeping, the spirit will take that part of you and take you on a journey either into the future or maybe a lesson from the past or a different geographical area, just to give you the vision of something you may need to know or something that's of comfort to you. And if you ever jump in your sleep, like you feel like you're falling, it just means that your astral travel has come to an end. And I don't know if this is in spirit or just in Kabbalah, but they say when you do that, jump in your sleep, your spirit goes out traveling, your body starts to wake up, and your spirit goes, oh man, I got to get back, and crash lands, But when you have that jump in your sleep, you're probably coming out of an astral travel of something that they showed you.
Okay, I didn't know that. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, and then it might not be a Vicky teaching, it must be a Kabbalistic teaching. That jump when we're trying to get back into our body, so we wake up all together. Because sometimes if you've ever woken up and you're a little like foggy, it might just mean your spirit's got to come in and wrap it up.
Sometimes I know people have told me that they've woken up and then they were able to go back into their dream, which I don't understand at all, but they do. I don't know how they do that, unless spirit's coming back and finishing what they started.
Right. If that happens, it was probably a spirit vision, astral travel type thing, where spirit says, okay, we didn't finish, let's carry on with the information.
Right.
I also like that they were telling us that in their realm, that they don't have to communicate with each other, and they just pass through each other to carry a message. And the more heightened we become and the more close we are with different relationships, very often you see people who've been together for years who never have to communicate because they sense, they know, and that's there. I know my parents, they were not connected to spirit, but in the sense that they've been together forever, I would ask them a question. They're both sitting in front of me. I would ask them a question, and then there'd be a pause. Then my father would say, well, Mom and I have talked, and the answer is. I'm thinking, you didn't talk, you're still sitting there. But somehow they had a way of like sizzling the information, and then he would say what they agreed. I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
But they were, I never thought of them as connected people.
And that could happen with just good friends. I mean, girlfriends, guy friends, whatever, where you know each other so well, you know what you're going to say. You know what they're going to say. You know how they feel about something, and you just sense it. They don't have to say the words.
Yeah.
Yeah, very interesting.
And one of the things about spirit is, even if we're not connected, and even if we don't even know about spirit, they're with us. We all have spirit guides. We come into this world from the spirit realm with spirit guides. We have some guides that will be with us for an entire life, and so, some that come and go as we need them. Sometimes you'll have a team, for like Nadia, you have a team on Sunday that writes with you, and then if you write on a different day, sometimes you pick up a different team. So whether you want them or not, we are guided by spirit, and the more we are open to it, the more, I don't know, what would you say, just blessings or ease, or maybe just even the knowing. Things make more sense when you have a spirit team to guide you.
Well, and it's also how you feel in your day. If you meditate and you connect in your meditation, how it soothes you during your day. Where normally when you don't, you may not feel the same calmness or peacefulness that you would after that vibration permeates you. That and I think that, you know, even with this writing telling you how they do what they do, see, to me, I love it. I think it's beautiful. But I would want even more. See, I'm still searching for the details, the finite action that actually occurs. How many waves of vibration are there? How do they get together? You know, I'm still wondering how television works. So, I mean, you know, I like the details. It's all in the details for me. But I don't think it's important for them only in that, how do you really explain it? You try to explain it on a human level. And I remember a rabbi visited a friend of mine who was dying. And Freddie looked up and said, you know, tell me, you know, am I going to see someone I know? You know, what am I going to be like? And all the rabbi said was, it's not what you think it is. And it's almost the way when he said it that Freddie just relaxed. I got the chills. He did not push it. It wasn't really important.
Right.
The how-to wasn't important. The getting there is what it's all about, and it's going to be different for every single person.
Right, and actually, how is spirit realm? So we can ask why, and we can ask when, but how is spirit? They're going to tell us the how.
Yeah.
And so that's one of their.
When we're in that place that we can understand it, because we still have to be more like them than like us to get it. It's kind of like studying the Kabbalah. You have to be at a very high presence of awareness to even get, you know, 1/60th of an inch of the whole thing. So you just have to be there to get it. And obviously,
one of the things that Nadia's probably tired of me saying this, but I just love, and one of the teachings that we had, as Spirit was saying, the reason they're teaching us is to help us become more attuned to them, but also in the spirit realm, love is unconditional. There's no jealousy, there's no hate, there's no anger. And the teaching said you don't have to wait till you cross over to have that. That is what you can have now as you open up to the possibilities of knowing that we are all one, that we're all connected. And once we realize we're all connected as an energy mass, and spirit is energy and so are we, we're just more material, we're denser, then we realize that we can have all of that kind of love and peace unconditionally.
I think it'll be so much a part of us we won't even realize it. Yeah. It's just going to be what our essence truly is. That's been taken away by, you know, living in a material world and all the perceptions that we're trained and taught to understand. And all that goes away, and what's left is the original intention. So.
Yeah. And, you know, Nadia, now that you were saying that you want more details, you want more information, my guess is that one of your next writing is going to give you more details and more information.
I'm ready for it.
Yeah, so I think that could be one of your next ones. But I think the takeaway from this is that A, we're not alone. B, our spirit guides are with us for our highest good. And they will communicate with us in ways that are personal to us. You know, like I say, it could be a spirit chill. I used to, before I got real attuned, it would be like a little wind on my face. I would feel wind on my face. And it would even be like in a place with no wind, and I would kind of know, okay, this is just like a spirit message. Some people, when they have somebody they've lost, they'll see a feather or coins or just different things that are personal to them that lets you know that there is a connection to the spirit realm. And then lastly, be aware to coincidence, because it isn't. So those are my takeaways.
I agree with you. I think that we all try to put words and names to things because it makes us comfortable. So coincidence would be easier than saying to someone, "Oh, that must have been spirit coming through," because
Yeah,
then we look at them in a funny way. What are you talking about? I don't know anyone named Spirit. That kind of thing. So, oh, it's a coincidence, because we have to label things in order to feel comfortable, and I understand that. I stopped, years ago pushing this whole thing because I was so ecstatically joyful about how great I felt and how wonderful it is, and it's free. And I would just announce at any given time anything I felt was important for people to know, and they truly couldn't care because, and I understand now why too. They need programs like this where people can just discuss casually what goes on, what it's all about. You take bits and pieces of what you're comfortable with, and eventually watching these shows or reading these writings puts you into that space that's a little bit closer than you were originally to how it feels. And then from there we go on. It's like a baby beginning to crawl, beginning to stand up, beginning to walk. I missed a few of those steps, hence, my weirdness. But I mean, every step is important to get you to the place that's comfortable for you to be in. That you won't question, that you'll just open up your arms and say, "Here I am." It's easy. I love it. It feels good. So I think that's what people need. They just need to be introduced to something in a simple way. No pushy, no extracting information from them, no trying to, preach, and just let them take what they want to. And then if they want to go on, we're always here. And Spirit's always ready and waiting. So it's their choice. But we give them choices. Everyone needs choices, right?
right. And I'll give you a little example of yesterday. I was working at my computer, and my stomach kept tightening up like this nervous thing, like the kind of feeling that you thought, "Oh, I think I need a tranquilizer," except I don't have any tranquilizers. And so I worked with some of my aromatherapy, and but it was just a real uncomfortable kind of tension. So I thought I better go connect. Maybe I'm unconnected from spirit. So I sat down and just did my spirit connection. And as I connected, I relaxed a little bit. And then I went back to work and got a message. And you don't know this, the house deal came through.
Oh my God, that's great.
On a Sunday.
That's why you were so excited. You weren't uncomfortable. You were excited.
And this was on a Sunday when this is a government purchase, normally doesn't work. So I'm thinking that I was feeling the birthing pains. And then when I connected to spirit, all of a sudden then they said, "Let's give her the info," and the ding on my phone, I got the deal. And I thought, well, that was just a weird coincidence. But really, that was just working again with spirit. I might have had to wait till Monday, but I just got in my place and I got the answer that I needed. So
congratulations, Ann. That's wonderful. Really, I'm very excited for you. And
well,
you're a block away from the water.
But it's another move. But I keep turning it over to spirit and say, "Okay, now again, you're the how. How are we going to do this? It's up to you, but just direct the show because we got to get from here to there." Oh, look, a little head popped up, and it's on mine. One of the things, too, I want to let people know is if you're interested in spirit communications, keep alert to Nadya's webpage on Creating Calm Network. It is notesfromspirit.Creating Calm Network. We're going to be announcing a program where you can work with Nadya and myself on learning more about spirit step by step and having all your questions answered. So we're getting ready to launch that in September, so just be alert. Maybe it's something you would like to do. So it's notesfromspirit.Creating Calm Network is where we're going to be making the announcement. Anyway, it's great, Nadya. You look like you're in Transylvania today because it is so dark there. So thank you for coming to us from Transylvania, Florida.
Here we go.
Okay.
I had the lamp too far away. I'm sorry. My umbrella was too far.
It was good for your headache. It was good for your headache.
Yes, it was.
Thank you for bringing us this writing. And I'm excited now to see what Spirit's going to give you now that you said, "Well, I want more details." Let's just see if they don't give you a few more details, because you seem to question and they seem to answer.
Yep, that's me. Thank you very much, Ann, for being a part of our show.
Yep, and have a great week. I hope your headache goes away. Here's Riley. He wants to just say goodbye to you, too. And
Hello, Riley. Hello, Riley, boy. Oh, yeah.
During our show, so now he's awake. Take care, and may Spirit just guide all of you into your highest good. Namaste.
Namaste.